Hi, friends. This is Caitlin. I'm so happy to be here with you with Pink and Main. We have a fun one tonight. It's going to still be fall themed, but we're taking a hard right from our like silly Halloween feels and going into like that very pretty autumnal fall Thanksgiving kind of vibe with a beautiful floral um, card as requested by Brennan. So I did see some people in the comments. I saw Virginia was here super early. I saw Ange checking in. Push a Frog, it's Carol, was checking in with us. I see Kelly. I do see Brennan. I see Miss Jackie Ann. Um, Thank you so much, Carol, for your kind words about my coloring. I'm so glad that you guys are learning, that I'm being helpful. Let's see, I see Lisa. I see Melissa checking in. Miss Karen is here. I see Connie. I see Mom and Judy. Um, yeah, Brennan was asking for gingerbread men, and he said that or this, so this is what I picked. Hey, Gail, thanks for checking in. So yeah, we're going to be using the Peonies in a Jar that came out earlier this year. Technically like a spring stamp set, but we're going to make it fall, and we're going to be adding in one of the large sentiments from our Season of Gratitude stamp sets. So I think one of these, and I think that'll be very cute. This set also comes with coordinating dies for all of these small sentiments. If that's what you prefer, you only want to do like one set. But I just thought this would be like a fun mashup. So that's what we're going to do. Um, let's see. I see Michelle checking in. I see Barbara checking in. Cynthia's checking in from North Carolina. Um, all right, I think we're good. Yeah, you guys do your catch up. So, supporting actors, we have the sweater embossing folder. I forgot to put this in the description, but it's probably my favorite embossing folder. It is thicker than all of the other embossing folders from Pink and Main. It has like a third kind of layer to it, but I love it. So I grabbed that, and then I also grabbed what I have left of the fall ginghams. So once we see kind of where our florals are headed, we'll pick a gingham and do a little like white tone on tone texture with some pattern paper, and then add our main elements. So I think let's start with our coloring. You gotta stop. You gotta stop. All right, I am doing Copics again tonight. Not because I don't love my Olos, but because this stamp is a little bit on the more detailed side, and I just don't have the best control with my Olos. Hey, Laurie. All right, let's grab this. And you can see this is a big stamp set. Um, so some of it's going to get like we're going to die cut it, and we might still have to like trim it, or some of it'll get covered. But our sweater pattern, I think, will still like peek out nicely from around it. We'll figure it out. I forgot how big it was. We did color this up one time before. I think maybe twice. We might have colored it. I'm pretty sure we watercolored it too. How is everybody's weeks? It looks like everyone has better spouse news today. trying to peek at the comments without getting too distracted. I think that's good. I think I'm going to leave it at one stamp. Okay. Melissa, right? The foam tape is huge, and it will last you forever, forever. You guys know how much I use my foam tape, and that I only go through like two, maybe three a year, maybe. So, highly recommend the foam tape. Let's see. Perfect. My nails are out there. Yeah. I went full silly Halloween this week because this weekend we're home, and then the weekend after that we're going back to work at my dad's, and I try to have like spookier nails that fit my character as opposed to these like silly. And then on these ones, the orange and the green glow in the dark. So I went full kitsch Halloween, and I love them. All right, so I know I said we would wait to see how our flowers ended up. I kind of didn't fully mean that because I want to have like an idea of where we're headed. I know I want to use gold embossing for our thinking maybe the navy. I know I want gold embossing for our sentiment. And I think the navy is nice because now here it'll kind of act like a neutral. Lisa, it's kind of like Victorian-y, like we're not like pre-made characters. It's kind of stuff like just for the haunt. Um, so it's kind of just like Victorian-y spooky. Um, yeah, Judy, they're a lot, I know, but they make me happy. They make me laugh. Um, Do I make Halloween cookies? Did we talk about this? You said something last time. I don't remember making Halloween cookies. Is that a thing? We're doing our pumpkins this weekend. Okay, let's color. So if we're doing blue and gold, I think the like right where I was thinking anyway, the like orangey kind of like goldenrod kind of colors are going to be really good. So I don't want to go pumpkin orange, but I do think something in that like a little bit more like goldeny orange would be really pretty. So let's play around with that. So we're going to start out with some YR27. Oh, Brennan, I did put that in my on my planner. That's not like a pre-decided thing that we do in general. But good call. It might end up just being like refrigerated cookie dough, and then I'll let them go crazy with sprinkles or something because that's about the bandwidth that I have available right now. But you are correct. I think I just wanted to use the Halloween cookie stickers that I had. I think I was more excited about the stickers than the cookies. Um, you have a great memory. It must be nice being young. All right, so a lot like we did on Tuesday, I am adding in my shadows where one petal overlaps another, right? And then down around the base of each petal as well. The way Angie color or illustrates her images, she also gives a lot of texture and like hints of where your shading should go. So if you want, you can go in and add a little of your darkest color to all of these little sketchy marks around here. We'll do a couple at a time. They're not huge. The whole stamp is big, but the individual flowers aren't crazy. All right. And then for these ones that are like flipped outward, um, we just want to pull that color from the center like that. And again, you can kind of come back in and tap a little color here and there where she drew all those petal texture lines for us. Right, Jackie, and you're exactly what I was thinking of when I looked and I was like, oh, I could zoom in more than that. All right, so then YR24, and we're just gonna start to fill in that white space, pulling that color up from the center and just kind of chipping away. But we want to make sure that each petal still has a little room left for our highlight. On these petals that are folded down, that highlight's really going to be like a halo around the petal. Now I'm just worried about making sure that I keep my paper on screen for you guys since it is zoomed in. Pull that color out. There we go. And then our lightest is going to be YR21. So we're just working our way up that single color family. You guys know I don't always do that, but this blend I think does make for this very like beautiful golden color. So we're just filling in any of that highlight white space that we left with that highlight shade. And that's going to start to give us that really nice contrast. You can't be scared to bring in some of your darkest color because without it, your lights don't look light. You really need that contrast. Okay. Um, I just saw Melissa's all your messages. Obviously, no worries. We will be thinking of you. And I do hope that being able to see friends and stuff helps to ease some of that sting as much as it can. And we'll be here. We'll be here when you get back. I love images like this because it can get repetitive in the best way. These are the kind of images where I feel like once I have, especially like once you get the first one or two down, um, it feels like I can just kind of turn my brain off, um, and enjoy just coloring, like the joy of coloring, because it's the same technique with the same colors, right? You could also add in other shades, but because it's the same flower, right? They're all peonies. Again, there's different, well, I don't even think that this color exists in a peony, so really there's no rules. Um, but you could have, a burgundy and an orange and whatever you want. But I'm choosing to keep them all the same color. I think if you limit your color palette, it's a little, the simplicity of it leans towards, I don't want to say fancy, I guess like refined, right? Like refined palette is like a food term, right? It feels similar for a color palette. Um, right? If this was like a birthday card, I'd probably bring in at least one other color because I feel like that makes it more fun. This, I want to be a little bit more of a serious, like, thank you, elegant leaning, I don't know, card. Um, and so that's why I'm going with just the one color. You guys let me know though too. Do you feel that way? Do you feel like having like multiple colors of flower in your bouquets is more fun? Do you think the way I'm doing it, you can tell me, is it boring? Do you like one shade? Is it easier if you're like learning to just do the one, or do you like mixing it up so you have different color combinations to try out? You guys let me know. Yeah, a little crafty color palette. All right, last one. And like here, that little petal's like folded over on itself. So we want to make sure that we add a little shading under that spot. And if you're somebody who struggles with blending, you don't love how your blending works, a stamp like this is actually, in my opinion, easier for you to work with because there's not a ton of space. You don't need a super smooth blend, right? Like through here, we kind of want um, more contrast and more of a defined space. So the bigger and more open um, your image, the more important your blending is going to be. So for something like this that is smaller and more detailed, the blending doesn't have to be as time consuming or like nerve wracking. Just blend, fill in all that space. Um, I think I want to go a little more brown for the center. I think I want these like weird E80 markers that I like never use because I think that will help lean in with the gold embossing powder we're gonna do. So for these centers, I'm just putting the darkest shade kind of at the bottom where the most of the petals are folded over. And then that was 89. Then we'll go in with some 87. And just the tiniest hint of whatever white space is left with the 84. There we go. Yeah, I like the brown. It gives that like sunflower feel without them being sunflowers. Angie! OMG! That's Angie. Look. Angie Blom. Angie. That's so cool. We love your images. We love, love, love this stamp set. We had to bring it back from the spring. That's so exciting. Denise said she does like a couple colors mixed. Fair enough. Um, and yes, Heather, it is such a pretty stamp. I love it. All right, let's grab some greens. We are going to stick with my go-to fall greens. We're going to go with our YGs. Um, we're going to start with some YG 99. And there are a few different style of leaves in here, right? Some have like the big single, they're a little more rounded. They have like a single vein. Some of them have lots, and then some of them are the multi-branch. I think will vary how much of each color is going on them, but we are still going to keep a limited color palette for them, and we're going to be using the same colors for everything. So I think switching up like these ones that have lots of the veining are going to be our dark and medium. Some of them will get all three, and some will just get like medium and light. Let's start with those. Oh yeah, I freaked out. She's on Facebook. Jackie. We're on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So, um, yeah, just me over here fangirling. Okay. So, like I said, we're filling in all those ones we just started with our medium, which is that YG97. Like that. Then let's come back and start filling in all of these little ones that are attached like to the actual flowers. These like little guys. Just some of that medium and like the multi-leafed stems. It's so funny how like unsaturated, desaturated these colors are compared to like my neon nails. I really couldn't have picked a more a more contrasting set of colors for myself for you guys to look at on screen. Always remember that you can rotate and manipulate your paper however you need. No reason to be cranking your wrist all crazy. Oh, I missed this whole big one back there. We'll come back with our darkest for that. These little dots are like my favorite part of this stamp. Okay, let's get here. Yeah, we're big fans, Angie. We're big fans. We did your right? The Christmas candles were you too. We did your Christmas candles yesterday or on Tuesday. if anybody missed it, these are this is Angie's stamp set with Pink and Main from our last release. And we made a Halloween card with them, which my mom pointed out if we had done purple, they would have looked even less like poinsettias. Very true. And we made them light up. How cute. Pretty proud of that one. Look, and now we're doing another Angie. All right. Come back in with my darkest for this leaf that I missed. And then if anybody wants to see how we did the lights for those candles, make sure you go back and watch the replay from Tuesday because they came together pretty quick. So for these ones, I am going in with the medium and the light, but I'm only going to add the medium to that center line. So they're going to feel much lighter, right? They're going to have the most of our light shade. There we go. And then in my head, I'm already pre-plotting what I'm going to do for the jar. Normally, you guys might know my go-to for the jars is a BG, but the blue plaid gingham background that I want, pattern paper that I want to use is not gonna, it's not a BG. It is very much just a regular old blue. So we're gonna adjust and go with a blue, and probably to stay on theme with the rest of our colors we've got going on, we're gonna go with like the B90s. Because I don't need them to match the background, I just need them to go. And the 90s, the higher your Copic number, that like middle number, the less saturated the color is. So using YG 90s, YR 20s isn't the best example, but most of my YRs are low, right? We use YR04, YR15, right? So the 20s a little less. So if we go with B90s, they're going to have more of a gray to them versus like a B00, which is what I would normally gravitate towards. You could totally do vellum. I'm not going to do that, but you could totally fussy cut the vellum and put it right on top for sure. All right, so I'm going to come in with my darkest in this case, which is my B93. I feel like you guys can't even see that. I'm just going to start kind of laying color in around the top of that jar lid. There you go. Now you can see it better. Okay. We also have our artist drawn line here showing that the jar is like fanning out there. So we're going to emphasize those and then let those guide us for our kind of like reflected highlight slash shadow. So I'm going to leave some white space and pull that blue color. And this is one of those trust the process moments, right? Because this is a white clear jar. that we're now adding a whole lot of color to. But once we start blending and you see it all together, it's all going to make sense. Let's see. Brennan said this month's Pink and Main Challenge theme is all things fall. So that could be Halloween, Thanksgiving, fall florals. I love a very open theme. All right, we'll start blending that out. And then let's, what do I want? I think I just want some colorless blender. We'll use our zero low because I still need to fix up my colorless blender. So we're just going to make sure that these don't have any harsh edges. We can run that right over the green too if we want. And that will kind of give the look that there's water in that jar. And I'll hold it up so you can see the blue with our pattern paper. Hopefully we like it. Yep, I love that. That's going to look so cool. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, let's, right, and that didn't even take us long at all. This is going to go quick. Tonight's going to be a quick one. Okay, we're going to add some washi. We might end up coloring the little table part under, but I want to see, I know some of this is going to have to get trimmed off. So I'm going to wait to see what fits in our usable space. Or we might have to pivot. Let's play around with our design. Look how beautiful that die cuts. And like, again, the little dots are my favorite. Like it die cuts around the little splatter dots. So cute. All right. And we don't have to emboss our sentiment yet, just in case I need to pivot that too. But let me trim this down because either way we only need half. Thanks, Gail. Yeah, I love it with the blue, right? Like that's, I kind of like it. I was worried that the gingham would be too busy, but I do like it. What's our other options? What does she look like if we made like a small rectangle white and let her kind of like pop out around? That's also nice. I like a little bit of extra white space. Yep. Angie, I love your dots. I do. And on this one, Angie, it looks like there's like a secret heart. Is that a thing? Or did I make that up? Is it just a dot that I think looks like a heart? This down here looks like a heart to me. Where are you? Come on. See, it's like a hidden Mickey, but it looks like a little heart. Okay, let's grab a center. I was leaning grateful for you. And it could kind of go across the jar. Kind of like that. But I also don't love that it's gonna, if we do the white, it's gonna go over the white, and this is gonna go over the white. So let's see what Autumn Blessings, which is like stacked, or even Season of Gratitude. Oh yeah, see, I like that. I think we'll do Season of Gratitude. Okay, let me trim this down. We're gonna need to do a hefty chop here. Let's start with a 1/2 inch. It's not going to be enough, but I'd rather work in increments. Like at the hairdresser, when they tell you they're going to start by cutting a little and see how it goes. See, that's not enough gingham. It looks like a weird lopsided checker. So let's do another 1/4. That's better for sure. Let's see what our spillage ratio looks like. I think I still want it smaller. I think we're doing a whole inch. Sorry if wasting this paper drives you nuts. You could always make like a fun stripy background with your leftovers, right? So like that little white background, and then this guy, and I'm fine with like losing that up there. I didn't even do a great job of stamping it. So like that guy like that. There we go. And then our gold embossed. Yeah, I really think I like that. If I slid this to the right corner, like that, and then had the words over here, we could do that. You could do that. I don't know that I want to lose all of that though. I kind of would rather it be centered and just lose that top little leaf and have everything else kind of spilling over the edges. And I think this balances out. I don't know. Let's start with our sentiment. Let's just get that knocked out. I did say we were going to do gold. I'm also going to grab denim just in case I don't love the gold. I don't think it's going to be a problem, but sometimes, you know, in the moment, my brain makes a different decision. So at least we know we have options. The denim is my like favorite blue embossing powder that we have. So when in doubt, denim is a safe guess for something that I would like. Okay, good. You guys like it centered too. Okay. Um, Let me say one other thing. I do think if we had a thin stacked sentiment, like if our sentiment went more like this, then I think chopping it and having it offset in the corner would be worth it. Like, I'm trying to think if I don't even know if I have any great examples. All of the things I can think like these. This is exactly what I mean. Hold on. These are the more spotlight sentiments. So if we were going to put like, thank you so much, right? Then having it pushed over to me makes sense because then this is going to fit, right? Miss you, miss your smile. Then that like balances it out a little more. But because this is going to take up that whole space either way. It's like having the weight balanced top and bottom makes more sense of left to right versus left to right. And that's not like a rule. That's just I'm just trying to explain why my brain says center. And maybe it's the reason your brain is also saying like, no, we like center. I think for me, it's a weight balancing thing. We are definitely not worrying about the texture. I think we have enough going on. And with this trimmed down so much, I think it's just gonna get lost in there anyway. When we're done though, I will I'll dry emboss with that folder anyway, so you guys can see it because it's so cute and we haven't used it yet this fall. Okay, let's just go ahead and do both versions of this sentiment, and so we can hold them up and see what we like since we have time. We'll just do one on each end of our cardstock. So, anti-static magic powder brush. There we go. And our embossing ink. Whoa. What embossing? Okay, let's get our gold. Heather, so it's actually a navy blue gingham. I also would love a black gingham for the record, but it is navy blue. There we go. Good stamping. Making up for my less than stellar embossing stamping the other day. All right, it might mute me for a second. I'll be right back. I just love this embossing powder so much. I don't even think I need to see it in the gingham. I should just know by now. Yeah, it's definitely very dark, and I think it's also partly my camera settings. It might be making it look more black. 100% I want the gold. The gold is perfect. I love her. And again, she gives a little more elegance. She's giving fancy. Glitter to me is more fun. Metallic is a little more elegant. You can hear it, of course. Sometimes it meets it, sometimes it doesn't. Kelly, release week is next week. So not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow will be the release. I think it's the 24th. Yeah, the 24th is release day. Yeah, so this is Gold Rush is the name of that embossing powder, and it's so pretty. All right, we need our coordinating die, which is my favorite part of this set. The coordinating dies are perfect. Is that you? Yeah. A little swoopy F tail. Okay. Run it through our die cutting machine. The big shot is just over here off camera. And again, that cuts so nicely around those letters. Oh yeah. I think I do want to color in lightly the table under the jar. So let's give that, I'm thinking like a little 44 and 43 maybe. A little E44. And where are you? I know I have a 43. I use it quite often. Where did you go? There it is. See, once I start singing to them, they always appear. Amazing how that happens, huh? All right, I think my whole panel popped up. So add, um, let's add a phone to our, whoa, man down. Where did you go, you silly goose? Why did you, there, it flew all the way across the floor. How rude. That's why you guys are supposed to remind me to put my stuff away right away. Because otherwise I'm out here just like losing stuff. We're just gonna do 3. If this was Brennan's card, he would do like 5 or 6. We've had this discussion on one of his lives. He likes a very sturdy foam base, where mine, I like to let him breathe. His is probably the right way. I'm sure his would show up better in a mailing situation than mine, but that's probably why my phone tape lasts me so long. Just trying to use my gingham here as my little map. Okay, and let's liquid glue so we can shift it a little bit if we need. Yeah, he doesn't like a wrinkly card. That's kind of like the back of my head. It's just really not my business what happens. I'm just trusting the postal service and my cardstock that it's going to hold up. Right? Like at this point, I did my share of the work. It's time for the rest of the card to really step it up and put in its best effort. I'm going to turn this over so I can see exactly what little part there is hanging off. We'll just give that a little trim. Hey, Bernadette. That's so pretty. I know we already did foam, but I'm going to do a little bit more foam. I usually only do one thing of foam, but trusting in the postal service, right? And the best part is that's not even a US thing, as we've learned from our BFF, Melissa, who every day is a Canadian postal struggle as well. So, okay. I'm not going to press that down yet. I want to take my T-square and just kind of make sure that those letters across the bottom, It's like a little low. It's a tiny bit high. All right, I'm just going to commit. Okay, I do think we need one final thing, and I think it is tiny gold with a embossed, let me look, these ones. This is what I want. These little sticky pearls. I gotta get more of these because you can see I used up all the itty bitties of the gold and I need more. I'll put in an order. I would put in an order just for those. I love them. They're like the perfect gold accent. Oh, look, I have one tiny one left. Perfect. So I think like, I think right there and there and one tiny guy up there. Just like that. Very simple. Very demure. There we go. That is our fall card using a not technically fall floral stamp. As continuing on our using non-fall and Halloween things to make fall and Halloween. Yeah, I just love this. It's fun to do silly fun, but it's also really fun to do like classy, beautiful. And I feel like this one falls under there. Exactly, Bernadette, classy. She's a classy girl. Um, and thanks, Angie. We couldn't have made it without you. So thank you so much. Yes, Brendan, is it everything you hoped it would be when you requested the Peonies stamp set? Hopefully it is. All right, well, I'm saying we're a couple minutes short. Let me pop a piece of cardstock through, do I have a piece already cut? Through this embossing folder for you really quick because she's so pretty, you just have to see her. I think I'm gonna have to switch up my sandwich a little bit though, because she's thick. You never want to force an embossing folder through. If it's pushing back. And that's not enough. Okay, there. Are you guys ready? It's so pretty. We have used it before. It's just been a minute. Look how cool. It's that like extra little like mini bend in the knit. It's so cool. So yeah, we'll have to use this for like a winter card. Eventually I'm gonna start making those, I promise. Um, yeah, don't break. I won't. I won't break it. Um, but yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope this does inspire you. That's like my theme of the month, apparently, to stretch your products and see how you can spin them, customize them, swap out the color, whatever you need to do to get more from your stamps, right? More from your stamps, more from your stuff. I know people are like very excited about the embossing pen. I'm just going to hold it up here while I talk. Um, but yeah, make your products work for you. And I hope it pushes you to step out of the box, try something a little different. And again, like we said before, worst case scenario, you get some extra practice coloring florals. There's never anything wrong with that. So thank you guys again so much. I hope that you have a great weekend. I will be back here with you on Tuesday for night one of Sneak Peek Week. Get excited. It's going to be a good one. There's some very cute wintry things coming. So, um, Elizabeth, I don't, let me look at it. It's definitely sweater or knit. Let me pull it up really quick because I don't want to tell you the wrong thing and I didn't put it in the description. It's got to be sweater then. It's not under knit. It is the Knit Sweater 3D embossing folder. So it looks like that in the picture. That picture does not do it justice. So Knit Sweater 3D embossing folder. But yeah, thank you guys again. Like I said, I'll be back here next week for sneak peek night one. I hope you have a great weekend. And until next time, happy crafting, guys. Have a good night.